All right. Hey. Welcome to the Coaches Plaza. I am so excited to welcome you here. Oh my goodness, getting organized. Welcome. If you can see me and hear me, let me know in the chat. And if you happen to be catching us on a live stream, make sure you say hello and come join us at impactfulcoach.com if it is around 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. All right. Hello. Hey, Thomas. Long time no see. Glad you're here. Oh my gosh. Okay. I stopped the shaking. I was like balancing you on my knees and it was getting a little nutty. We got Susan in the house. We got Bradley here. He is one of our amazing new team members on the Dream Team. Hello, Bradley. We got Rebecca here, is also on the Dream Team. We got Willie. Nice to see you, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Okay, we are getting started with 3 money mindset shifts that I made to get paid a premium for my coaching. And I am curious, where is it that you are tuning in from? Looks like we've got several people tuning in from their phones. This experience is always better from a computer if you can manage it. Just so that you know that. That's why I was shaking so bad. I was like, oh, balancing this on my computer. If you want to participate in the polls, if you want to get some of the resources that I share with you, things like that, it always works better from a computer. Well, hello from North Carolina. Nice to see you. And we've got Sonoma. Hello, Rosalind. Nice to see you. Okay, well, welcome to the Coaches Plaza CEO Coach. I am curious, what is your stage of business? Because that's going to really help me with helping you. If you're at Dream Up, that means that you're thinking about building a coaching business, you're contemplating it. Startup means you are serious. You are going to get your first few clients. Ramp up means you have a client or two, you're looking to fill up the rest of your practice. Scale up means that you have lots of clients, you are actually looking for help, systems, team members, things like that. So you can just respond to this poll and that'll give me a sense of who is in the room today. So let's see, we have got startup, mostly ramp up today. Hey, good for you, coaches. Awesome. Well, I started the Coaches Plaza several years ago because I too was at a Dream Up stage, and then I started up and then I started ramping up. And the thing that I found was the most challenging about attracting clients into my practice was that I didn't really know what to say, how to say it, how to represent what I did in a way that was really authentic, how to make it really obvious that I could help and make it really, really clear what I did. And when I was actually telling people what I did, even that didn't help because then they didn't really know how that really helped. So, for example, I had a core energy coaching certification and I had a high performance coaching certification. I had all this qualification, and people were like, "Oh, yeah, that's interesting." But it didn't really like help them roll into my calendar. They weren't like, "Okay, awesome. I really want to get coaching from you." And I'm curious, like, is that something that resonates for you? Just shout a Y in the chat if you've ever been frustrated that you have all this qualification to help people, but it feels like it takes so much explaining about how you help that it's almost exhausting and sort of annoying to even get to the point where you can really help people because there's almost a disengagement that is happening before you ever get to the part where you get to help, much less to the part where they pay. And so just shout a Y if that is something that resonates. If it doesn't really resonate, if you're like, oh my God, I'm raining clients, like there's so many people that are wanting to brush and pay me, then let me know that. All right. So today I want to really talk about the money mindset shifts because there were certainly things that I was doing early on that did not help me in my cause to get clients, to attract clients, to have people want to be on my calendar. and to actually leave the corporate job that I was in, to be able to have more time freedom, to be able to have more freedom to coach people I really wanted to coach, to be able to not coach the people I didn't want to coach, to not waste my time talking to people who really I couldn't help, didn't want the help. And I just really wanted to get out of this hustle mode. And I'm not sure if that is why you're here today. Let me know in the chat if that is something that you're interested in learning about today. I'm just checking out who's here. Let's see, we got Susan and Bradley and Rebecca are here. I see Jessica's in the house, Jose is here, Karen's here, Kevin's here, Rosalind's here. So tell me, like, what is it that's motivating you to be here? Is it because you want to see success in your business sparking and shining? Okay, because that's what we're going to talk about. How many of you feel that you have like on a scale of 1 to 5, where 5 is like super, super good, you're really, really happy with it, you feel that you've got a coaching program that you're really happy with the price point of, and you feel that people want it? Okay, so both things have to be true. 5 out of 5 if you're really happy with the price you're charging for it and people really, really want it. Okay, that's a 5 out of 5. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 5. 1, you're like, not really. 5, you're like, yes, absolutely, both things. Okay, so 3 out of 5, 3. Now, do you feel that you're giving on the price, or do you feel like you're giving on the thing that people want? Right? Because this is a conversation I am constantly having with my clients, right? Yes. And so this is the challenge that most coaches have. They're giving on the price, and they're not adjusting on what they give. So what ends up happening is we end up with giving and giving and giving and giving. So tell me if this has ever happened to you or a friend. It's okay if it happened to a friend, maybe not you, where you're giving away hours and hours and hours and hours of your talent, of your skill set, your ability, your knowledge that you have spent so long building up and cultivating, but you're giving it away for free, or you're giving it away for a very, very, very low price, simply because people don't understand why they should appreciate it. Do you have a friend? Just shout out friend if you have a friend that you like, that is the curse of their business, right? Okay. So what we're going to talk about today is the 3 money mindset shifts that I personally had to make to get out of that cycle. Okay. Yeah. It happens to our friends, not us. Obviously, we're CEO coaches. We're a bunch of badasses here. We're learning this for the benefit of our friends, obviously, right? So take some notes for your friend. And then we're going to make some shifts today. Sound good? Sound cool? All right. Cool. So I'm curious, how many hours are you spending building into your business every single week? Right? Just give me a little estimate. Roughly how many hours do you pour into your business every single week? Right? Most people that I know building their business, they're doing at least 10 hours. Often they're doing 10, 20, sometimes 30, 40 hours. And they're pouring into their business. Right? So just give that some thought, some consideration. 25, 35, 20. Cool. So it's like a lot, right? Now here's a question for you, and this is one of the big mindset shifts. Would you expect a teenager to work at a fast food restaurant for 25 to 35 hours for free? Every single week. And how long have you been working on this business? How many years? How many months? Let's call it 30. Okay. Would you expect a young person to work 30 hours for free for months or years for free and not get paid a damn thing? So why are you doing it for free? Is it a hobby or is it a business? Why are you paying yourself less than a teenager at Taco Bell? That's the first mindset. I am definitely worth more than the teenager at Taco Bell. Right? So shout out Taco Bell if you freaking heard me. Your work has value. Every single hour that you put in to creation has value. Okay? Yeah, Taco Bell. Taco Bell. All right? If it's worth it to pay the teenager at Taco Bell, you need to have reverence for the time you spend in creation. Just because you enjoy it doesn't mean that it doesn't have value. Is that true? Like, I think one of the things about this, the Taco Bell idea, is we think that because we're enjoying it, it doesn't have value, right? We think that, oh, I have to be miserable for me to make money, right? And I think that that comes from like old ideas because maybe you hate your job right now, or maybe you're just so used to being overworked and overburdened that when you're doing something that you genuinely enjoy, you're expecting not to get paid for it. Or maybe because you love it so much, you would do it without being paid for it. You think it's okay that you're not paid for it, right? But the first principle here is that if you're serious about this being a business, you got to get out of the hobbyist mindset and realize that even teenagers at Taco Bell get paid. So why not you? Okay? There you go. Love this, Tim. You can help someone make their next 100K, but they choke on paying you 2 to 5. Well, and keep in mind, there's a lot of different expenses that go into running your own business. And that's one of the things that we actually teach in our programs is if you're pissed off that someone else is not paying you enough, then you learning what it takes to actually run your own damn business, how powerful would you be if you actually knew what it actually took to run your own advertising, to have your own systems, to be able to do it yourself? But the thing is that a lot of people think that they can build a business from nothing. How true is that? Can you have something from nothing? That's not what we teach here. We teach CEO coaches how to build a real business that can actually do things like pay you life insurance. Who here wants to have actual life insurance and take like vacation from their business without feeling guilty or like your actual business has to shut down? The only way that you're actually going to do that is if you build a real business that has systems and processes, right? Maybe even team members to take over while you're gone if that's the model that you're going to have. But it requires ownership, right? Shout out, I am a CEO if that makes sense and resonates for you. This whole notion of I can just charge $10 or $15 an hour for my coaching only works if you're a hobbyist, right? If you're not building something that has legacy that is actually going to have a premium experience for your clients, right? Because you can charge $15 to do, a basic reading or something like that. But if you're building something that pays vacation time, that has benefits for you, that actually allows you to have good living conditions so that you can be in a high energetic state so that you can bring your best for your clients, you can't charge $15 an hour. Because people that make $15 an hour don't have good living conditions. I'm spitting some truth. Mindset number 2, I got to make enough to support my lifestyle. And I got to be real about what my lifestyle costs. Shout out real in the chat if you hear what I'm saying. And is it okay if I tell you the truth? It's not okay to make $15 an hour in 2023. If you want to have life insurance, that costs money. If you want to take a vacation, that costs money. If you want to have time off from your business, that costs money. Your rent doesn't stop because you're on vacation that week. Your AC bill goes up in the summer, doesn't it? And, my husband just this week had a terrible injury. So there's surprises that come up financially. Isn't that true? Let me know in the chat if you've ever had like a financial surprise, like an injury or an illness, or yeah, you had to put your Bugatti on Turo. Shit, man. My heart goes out to you, Tim. Oh my gosh, you're funny. So, but you see what I'm saying? Like, life has a real cost. And I think too many times we put our head in the sand about what our actual lifestyle really costs. And that cost me dearly. Like, if it's cool with you, I'm just going to be super raw. And I'm just going to tell you, I was not realistic when I was an employee about what my life actually cost. Because I think as an employee, I just, I got a paycheck and it was really regular. And I didn't have to pay attention to those details because it was always just like super regular. So I just put things on the credit card and I didn't pay attention to the details because I was getting a fat check. I didn't worry about my 401k and I didn't worry about my taxes and all that kind of thing. And you want to know something crazy? I paid so much in taxes. I paid so much more in my lifestyle than I needed to even pay because I was just ignorant. I wasn't paying attention to what I paid. And the thing is that my number one lesson as an entrepreneur is how money actually works. Money flows. Money is an energy. Permission to get woo? Y'all, is anybody here woo? Right? If you hate woo stuff, we might not get along. I'm like woo, but an engineer at the same time. So like I can get a little woo, but then I'm going to bring science at you. So I hope that's okay. Right? So energy and money, it's like the same. All right. So when I put my head in the sand around money when I was an employee, I really was very ignorant about how much money I actually made, how much money I needed to save for my future, and how much money it actually cost to support my lifestyle. I had no idea how much money I was spending on cosmetics and how much money I was spending on my wardrobe and commuting, how much money I was spending on childcare, how much money I was spending on basically keeping up with having my corporate job. It was, by the way, absolutely insane. Now, a lot of my business actually happens out of my home, and a lot of my expenses I get to claim as part of my business. And so the net of having a business has meant that our overall expenditures and consequences, I guess you can say, are so radically different. So I thought I had to be like this bajillionaire in order to experience more financial freedom. And I'm not here to give you financial advice. I really want to preface that. What I am here to say is understand your numbers. Like, get to be a friend with your accountant. Get a good accountant. Get an accountant who gives a crap, right? And really learn about your circumstances because it's just energy. It's just money. It's just numbers. And when you can start not being afraid of them, you start to realize, oh my goodness, I have so much more freedom than I thought I did. Because you get to make more empowered decisions, right? Yeah, so much power in knowing your numbers. So shift number 2, don't be afraid of your numbers, know your numbers. Because if you can know your numbers, you get to change your numbers. You can't change diddly do if you are scared, right? Who here, I mean, y'all are coaches, who here would agree that your circumstances cannot change if you are absolutely frozen in fear, right? Y'all are coaches, so you know that when people are absolutely stuck in fear, they don't change anything, right? Fear freezes us, and it causes a, I'm always reminding myself of this, that fear causes me to be the stupid version of Amanda, right? I make the worst decisions when I'm afraid. I get panicky. I focus on all the wrong things. I am the first person to tell you that I get straight up dumb when I am in a panic. And so by getting more into the habit of knowing what my actual financial needs are as a family and not leaving it 100% to the woo, right? Now, that being said, you never know where the universe is going to bring you amazing opportunities and connections. Money comes from everywhere. It's okay to, by the way, this is a pet peeve of mine. Don't quit your dang job if it is a secure source of income because you believe you don't have enough time to build this business. OMG. If you have a stable source of income and you want this business to become a stable source of income, you only need 10 to 15 hours a week. And you can absolutely build it as a side hustle, build some stability around it, build your skills selling and marketing, and then you can, as you have that revenue stream, build stability, then you can step away from that W-2. Don't get all snooty patooty about where your revenue stream is coming from. If your job sucks, go get a better job. Go get a different job. Work for a different boss. People don't quit their jobs, they quit their bosses, right? Like, this is a major side rant. One of the things that I did that was like literally one of the dumbest things that I did is I quit my job before I had true stability in my company. And it caused so much unnecessary stress. So much unnecessary stress. So if there's something I could just sing from the rooftops, so many of my clients have thanked me for giving them the wisdom that there ain't nothing wrong with a rainbow job. Okay? An income stream is an income stream. Whether it's a W-2, a 1099, or a canvas bag with a big old, money stamp painted on it. Okay? A revenue stream is a revenue stream. All right? Make sure you're reporting the big canvas money bags to the IRS. Okay. The point is, don't feel like the only way that you can have your dream is if you chuck your financial responsibilities and obligations. Okay. So, yeah, so true, man. Oh my gosh. Tim, we're good friends. Oh my God. So, people spend 20 hours a week scrolling on social media, but they don't have time to build a business. Seriously, just take 10 minutes out of your social time and you will have an awesome business if you focus on doing what matters and do the right things. Okay, cool. So, end rant. Was this helpful, y'all? Just the permission. It's okay to change your income streams. It's okay to get creative about it. It's okay to quit a bad boss. I'm not saying that you should stay in a shit job until you have, pardon me. I'm not saying you should stay in a terrible job until you get this business off the ground. Don't be so black and white that it has to look a certain way. There's the woo again. All right. Universe is going to bring you so many opportunities. You got to be open to receiving it. Okay. Third big idea. Charge more by being more. Somebody want to write that in the chat? Charge more by being more. So many people are like, here's how to charge more. Here's how to, charge more. Can y'all write a bigger number? Right? My freaking 5-year-old can write a bigger number. We were talking about this the other day. In order to go from 10 to 100, you write a 0. It's not harder to raise your price. You just change the number. Right? So raising your price is really like the difference between, I had, big shout out to my coach. She was, oh my gosh, Kelly, what's your last name? I'm going to have to look it up. So Kelly told me years and years and years ago, I was at this event and she told me the difference between 3,000 and 30,000 is a comma. And OMG, it just shattered my brain. Like this 30,000 versus 3,000, the difference is a comma. And I was like, oh my God, you know? So when I really realized it, I was like, it really is just a comma. Like that's the difference. So who was I being that said that I couldn't charge 30,000? And I realized I was being someone that only wanted to solve $3,000 worth problems. I was being someone who wanted to play it safe. I was being someone that wanted to solve problems that people were okay with investing $3,000 on. I was not okay with being someone who would solve $30,000 problems. And like to really blow your mind, when I'm thinking about a problem to solve, like a premium problem, I want it to be at least 10 times bigger than what I'm asking. At least 10 times bigger. So, for example, in our program Level Up, that's like a $50,000 to $100,000 a year problem, right? We help coaches to create a system for lead acquisition, like systematize it. So you don't have to hope that you can go find your ideal client. You know how you go find your ideal client. You have an actual system for how to do it. That is so crazy valuable. So that when you've got your program all designed and it's all ready to go, you know where that client is going to be coming from. You're not guessing about whether you're doing the right content or you're guessing about whether that launch is going to work. You know what to do and you know how to figure that out. So like that's like a very valuable problem to solve, but we don't charge $100,000 for that, right? We could, because if you think about it, if we helped somebody make $100,000 in a year, you know, and then they go on to run that business for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and they do nothing else but just make $100,000 every single year, I mean, we've already created so much value. So when we then charge a premium price, but it's still not $100,000, it's significantly less than that, we sleep like a baby at night for what that price point is. But we had to become someone who wanted to solve a problem that was very challenging to solve. And we had to be not lazy about it. So when we designed the Level Up program, I was like, it's not good enough to just give you like ClickFunnels share codes. It's not good enough to just give you some copy. You know, we do give you systems, we do give you sample copy, but we were like, how can we make sure that you are more likely to succeed with this program? Like, how can we do a guarantee that you're going to get 3 clients, for example, out of this program, so that you know that you're doing the things that you need to do to repeatedly create clients through this system? So who am I becoming to be someone who charges this amount because I am someone who solves a problem at this level, because I'm someone who cares enough about my clients to make sure that I create the systems, that I have the support systems in place, that I am passionate about what I do for my clients? Who am I becoming that I don't deserve to get paid this much? I am someone who cares enough that I'm playing at this level, that this is the price point that's obvious. And like that was the mental mindset shift that changed everything. Like I went from literally overnight charging $3,000 for private coaching sessions to $30,000 because I simply became someone who solved problems that people would trade a BMW for. They'd say, you know what? I don't want the BMW in my driveway. I want to solve this problem. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a badass enough coach that I'm going to work with you until we solve this problem together. We are going to co-create a solution together that we are going to conquer this challenge together. So it does take, it's risky, isn't it? Shout out risk in the chat if you're hearing like, holy shit, this third thing, it's risky. right? Because you're saying, I'm signing up for co-creating with a client that we're going to create a result together. There's risk involved, right? It's risky business. This is part of our vision at the Coaches Plaza. We help coaches step into their authentic selves to be the leader coach that you are meant to be, so that you can embrace the risky business of your self-expression to have the kind of business that you want to have, right? And so many of you want to be the kind of coach that charges thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, and that's authentically who you are. You work for hours and hours and hours every week. You obsess, you pour over your craft. But you have to give yourself permission to take the risk to do it, right? And this is the difference between a high-performing premium coach and a coach that's not quite ready to take that leap yet. And, you know, in terms of being ready to take that leap, it really was one day me making that decision that I was going to depart from who I was before and choose to become that new person. And there's nobody who can tell you to do this. It is 100% your choice. You have to decide for yourself that that's what you want to do, that you want to play that game. You don't want to play that other game. And many people don't want to do that. You know, just being totally straight with you, I'm not going to say it's okay, because I don't think it's okay. I'm going to be totally frank with you. I think it's BS that a lot of coaches give away coaching for almost nothing, because we're afraid to say that it's valuable. And we're afraid to say that it's different than having a chat with your family in the kitchen. But given how much we put into our education, given how much we put into our practice, because it's not like working at friggin' Taco Bell, right? Like when you work at Taco Bell, you just have to show up to the shift. You just have to remember to wash your hands, right? When you become a premium coach, the expectation is that you are constantly working on yourself, that you are constantly bettering yourself, that you are constantly in transformation. Is that not true? Let me know in the chat. Like, would you hire a premium coach that is not working on themselves, that is a hot mess, right? That is not challenging themselves to grow? Of course you wouldn't. So, like, there is a huge amount of expectation and expectancy that goes with being a premium coach. And that is part of why you charge what you do, because you need to. You are a well-compensated coach because you need to show up really well. You need to take care of your family. You need to take care of who you are. And that's part of the value proposition of what you do. Okay. So I wanted to really just tell you what I had to go through to really shift this. And I'm going to invite you to sit down and have a conversation with us. And I also wanted to invite you. I just got this printed out. It's like fresh. If you want a copy of my automatic networking guide, you can get this guide for free. We're not charging anything for it, but you can just shout out guide to get the guide to automatic networking. And just say that in the chat if you're here, okay? And it's gonna walk you through the system that we use to attract leads 24/7, have authentic, connected conversations with people as a premium coach, as a CEO coach. So if you want a copy of that, let us know. We'll send it to you. One of our amazing dream team will reach out to you and send that to you. The other thing I really want to invite you to do is to chat, okay? The best way we can help you is if we sit down and understand your business, your target avatar, who is it that you really want to work with, and how are you engaging them now? We can do an audit of your website, we can do an audit of your social media, and we can help you understand how many leads do you need to get on social media in order to have a reasonable expectation of creating a client. We can help you with those numbers. We can help you with understanding what that effort might actually look like. But we need to understand a lot more about your business, what you already have set up. And in order to do that, you can just click the link that I just popped up on the screen. And this is a free conversation. We have nothing to pitch, nothing to sell in that conversation. If you really love how we help you, you can ask us for a deeper conversation where we are happy to go a whole lot deeper. If you would love to, if you're watching us on one of the social channels, you can go to www.coachceo, I believe it is. Let me just double check. I want to make sure I've got this right. Boom. You could go to www.coachceogrow.com and you can request that same call. So again, that is coachceogrow.com if you'd like to request that free 15-minute call. We'd love to sit down with you and really talk through what is your premium offer? How are you getting that in front of your ideal client? We want to help you set up an amazing system so you can have a lifestyle as a CEO coach too. We'll see you again really soon. In fact, I'm going to be going live next week. And by the way, watch your inbox because I'm going to be announcing a webinar that is going to be walking you through the automatic networking system in extreme detail next week. I'm going to be calling it, what did I call it? I don't remember what I called it. But watch that for an announcement in the next 24 hours. We're going to be doing that instead of next week's live training. We're going to be doing a full-blown workshop. So watch for that. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Central, and it's really going to be walking you through this system in a lot more detail. That is by popular demand. So yes, I will walk through the system in some detail next week. Hope to see you there. And if you want the early bird for that, just shout out early bird in the chat and we'll make sure that you get on the list for that workshop next week. All right, everybody, we'll see you again next week. Thank you so much for joining and we'll talk to you again soon.